Okay, welcome to the SPF UK Climate Resilience Programme webinar series. It's a pleasure that we're starting this webinar series today. We have with us today Professor Nigel Arnell, who's going to talk to us about the work he's been doing under the programme, particularly at estimating indicators of climate change risk. And then we'll have a reaction from Brendan Freeman from the Committee on Climate Change, and then we'll open up for question and answers afterwards. So before we start, I wanted to provide a little bit of rules of engagement. So we're going to do the presentations first, then we'll have the Q&A and discussion. So if you could please post those questions in the Q&A box, which you should be able to see in the Zoom toolbar at the bottom, and then you can also upvote the questions as well. So all attendees will remain muted unless Susie, who's hosting the meeting, enables you to speak. And thank you for some of you have submitted some questions in advance, so we'll pick those up as well. So note that this is being recorded. We'll put this on our YouTube channel of the program afterwards. And feel free to comment and discuss on Twitter as well. The Twitter handles there, and use the hashtag UK Climate Resil. So I will just very briefly present the program. I'm one of the champions, together with Dr. Kate Lonsdale, of the UK Climate Resilience Program, and this program is funded under the Strategic Priorities Fund. It's an order of about £19 million, and it's implemented through UK Research and Innovation and the Met Office. So it includes the National Environment Research Council, the Economic and Social Research Council, Engineering and Physical Sciences Research Council, as well as the Arts and Humanities Research Council. And one of the main things that this program tries to do is to enhance UK climate resilience to both climate variability and change by pushing the boundaries of interdisciplinary research and innovation in three main areas. So one of them is climate risks. So how can climate risks be quantified and characterized? And this is both including hazard, exposure, and vulnerability, how are climate risks managed through climate adaptation, and then the new emerging field of climate services, where information is translated so that it's usable for decision making. So these are the three main areas that the program has been funding research on, and this webinar series is focusing particularly on the first tranche of funded projects. So they started in January last year, and many of them are concluding now. They are one-year projects that were funded by UKRI, and then at the same time there have been various Met Office activities and projects that have been funded that the webinar series is also covering over the next few months until early next year. A couple of announcements that I wanted to make you aware of is we announced this on Monday. The program has just started to fund three big projects. One of them is to actually enhance the climate change risk assessment capability in the UK. And so this project was awarded to the Tyndall Centre for Climate Change Research. It's led by Robert Nichols, where they're trying to build a platform of climate impact and modeling to feed into future climate change risk assessments. And there have been two other awards on the topics of governing adaptation, one focused on care settings, led by Professor Mike Davis at UCL, and another one focused on the governance of infrastructure, led by Dr. Liz Sharp in Sheffield. So there's a bit more detail on the website, but these are flagship projects that have just started, and hopefully you'll be able to engage with those projects in the future. The final announcement that I want to make you aware of is just that we have an open special issue of climate risk management to try to feed research both from the program but also beyond the program, feed research into the third climate change risk assessment. So there's an opportunity to submit research for this special issue, and it's led by myself and colleagues, Heidi Fowler, Jim Hall, Dan Mitchell. The current deadline is the 31st of May, although because of COVID that may be extended slightly. So do send us your research, you know, both interdisciplinary, multidisciplinary, and also practitioner-led research. So without further ado, I will hand over to Nigel now to tell us about the work he's been doing in his project with his colleagues. So Nigel, over to you.